So where did you go, Carl? What was the story?
It was my birthday, right? Went home after working with you a couple of Saturdays ago, right? Girlfriend was like, open your card, and I said, no, it's my birthday on Monday, I'll open it then.
You obey by the rules, don't you, of birthdays? The birthday rules.
Well, there's no point.
Well, exactly, chaos leads that way.
Yeah, right, so,
not an anarchist, never has been.
So anyway, she was kept going on, and it was doing me head in, so I said, alright, I'll open it.
Yeah.
So I opened it, ticket fell out. Surprise holiday to one of the Canary Islands. So...
And what was your reaction? I mean...
First one was, we haven't got enough money.
Right.
For this. But I didn't want to ruin it, so...
No.
So I didn't go on about that, and I said, oh, it'd be great. So I can't wait. So,
did you say it in that tone of voice?
Well, it was good timing, because I was tired and everything. And I'm not a big holiday fan. No. But the timing was right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the same as last night. I don't always like a curry, but last night...
You're in the mood.
You get that sort of, oh, yeah.
Curry, you had a feeling.
Yeah, you had a feeling.
You thought, oh, and then, lo and behold, later you were eating the curry.
Right.
It's weird, isn't it? Isn't it weird, the paranormal? Isn't it weird?
They work in mysterious ways,
yeah,
ghosts.
Yeah.
So anyway, right, the island, if I was on Wish You Were Here, I'd probably say it's a bit barren.
Okay.
Not much there, but if you get a hotel, you're guaranteed good weather. Right.
Are you?
No, what I mean is, it'll be a good holiday. If you get a hotel, right, the weather's always good, so you'll have a nice time.
Yeah, it was a comma, yeah, it was a, go on.
And all that, and the food was alright, and everything was going alright. I was just having a nice, relaxing time.
And how do you sort of spend your time on a holiday? You just lie around? Is
that sort of holiday, just lying around. I bought a book.
You bought a book?
Yeah.
Okay, ghosts?
No, it was short stories, right?
About
was
ghosts?
No, it was about like special days in our time and time before me and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it was like it was telling you about how in, I think it was 1814, the Thames frozen up.
Yeah.
And all these stories are told by eyewitnesses.
Yeah.
Right. So there's some fella who was around in 1814, and the Thames was frozen, and people used to put market stalls on there, and they'd do the shopping. It was like like an Oxford Street.
Was that Mad Liar Charlie? No, because he's famous for that.
Well, I'm sure, you know.
No, I think that was Mad Liar Charlie.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was reading that, and then after a couple of days was a bit like, oh...
Boring.
Yeah, you can only do sort of so much lying around.
And so much reading.
So, Suzanne said, let's go on the beach, have a walk.
You ain't gone on the beach?
Where had you been up to this point then? In your room?
No, just like round the pool, just relaxing and having a swim and that.
Yeah.
So she said, let's go on the beach. I said, alright then, yeah. So, wandered down to the beach, and first impressions are, yeah, it's alright, it's clean.
Your criteria is so basic, it's brilliant. Hotel, yes. Roof, good. Food, adequate. Beach, clean. Next.
So I'm walking along, and everything's good, and you know, there's a woman feeding fish bread, which I thought, that's different.
I love that. He likes originality. He loves a bit of originality.
She was feeding fish bread?
This woman was there, like, up to her knees in water.
Yeah.
And she was stood there.
Was that the sea?
Chucking, yeah.
Oh, right, good.
Chucking this bread, and I thought, what's she doing? And I stood there and watched for a minute, and there was little fish coming up, having the bread. I thought, oh. So we carried on walking, and everything's going well, and then this fella comes towards me.
Everything's going well.
Yeah, that's
I
original.
haven't fallen over.
Clean feeding bread. 2 points for originality. Yeah.
Fella comes walking towards me.
Oi, oi.
He's only got no pants on.
Oh.
So I said, Suzanne, what's going on?
Why did he turn to her? Like she knows more than him.
So she said, oh, yeah, it's, she said, yeah, it's a nudist.
Is this going to be a long story? Could you pour that coffee? Can you give me that coffee over? Sorry, this is really bad. Yeah, because he's poured... Thank you.
Just amuse yourselves while we talk the coffee.
Thank you very much.
Do you want
I'll have a cup of coffee, Carl.
Right.
Thanks. Yeah, cheers.
Cold. Right, good. Okay.
So...
Great. Thank you.
So she said, yeah, it's a nudist beach. So I said, well, what? I said, we're all it's all mixed up. Normally on a nudist beach, it's a nudist beach, and you don't go wandering on there when you get your clothes on and that. So it annoyed me a bit, because there wasn't any signs. So this fella's getting closer.
Well, the knob out was a sign.
Yeah. Right, so he's getting closer. And he walked past me. It was an old fella. And he walked past and he had a hat on and a little pipe. And a big rucksack on his back. Right, so it got me thinking.
Not strictly naked.
I'm walking along and I'm thinking, right, why do people want to do this? So straight away, I wasn't on holiday anymore, because most of the time when I'm on holiday, I don't think about anything. Right?
Your mind's a blank.
I just switch off. Right? But all of a sudden, this has got in my head now, and I turn around to look at him, and
check out his arse.
And this bag, right, I swear, it was massive, right?
What? You had a massive bag?
The bag.
His rucksack?
His rucksack.
Oh, right, okay. So when he said there was an old couple coming towards me, I said, what was lower, the bloke's bollocks or the woman's tits? And he said, well, that was another point, she might as well have worn knickers. Because so now you can see it, that's what he said to me.
So you saw the bag?
So it annoyed me, yeah, because the whole idea in it, this is what I think, I mean, I might be wrong, right? Might be wrong.
Chances are you never
have been before.
Being nudist, right? What's it all about?
Well, no, I wanted you to tell Steve about your holiday. Because you told me in the week. Go on.
Steve, I mean, bad idea. I had a feeling anyway about, going away with, like, Suzanne's mum and dad. Because I've never been into sort of family holidays anyway, right? Even when you see it, whenever I've been on holiday and you see like families on planes and that, and they're all having a laugh and a joke, loving it, and then on the plane going back you can see that they've gone off into groups, and like, you know, the dad isn't talking to the daughter and all that business. So I thought, asking for trouble, but you know, I do everything once, do you know what I mean? Boxing, dancing, going on holiday with parents and that, give it a go, see how it goes, right? So,
not your A-levels, but fair enough.
It started off, it started off bad, didn't it? Because last week I told you that, you know, our dad called us up and said, you know, I want to take some tea bags with us to Madeira.
Yeah.
What's the best way of packing them?
Yeah.
Right, so I knew there was going to be problems like that, because the thing with, Suzanne's family, right, they like having a routine. They know what they're doing every day. They know what they're having for tea every day. It's the same thing every week, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I thought this is going to be interesting, this, because they can't do what they normally do.
Sure.
I love it. I love you treating it like an experiment.
Yeah. Right.
Just watching them all the time.
So, the first problem was they'd never flown before. So I was winding them up a bit. Saying, it's murder. It's really horrible. You know, plane goes all over the place. And a mum had done some research saying, well, I've been reading about it, and,
Well, she got a funny accent.
More people, there's more chance of me being killed on a donkey than there is on a plane. So I upset her. I said, right, when we get there, Spain. I said, when we get there, let's see if there's any donkeys on the beach.
Yeah.
Right? And she didn't like that. So.
Oh, what? To joke about you hoping she died?
Yeah.
Oh, what's up with her?
Right, so we get there, and, you know, they see the villa and that, they're quite happy with all that business, right, and all that stuff. And then, as time went on, I was getting a bit sort of fed up with them being around us all the time, because I think you should have your own time when you go on holiday with the family. You should say, right, you go off and do your thing, we'll do our thing, and we'll meet up later and talk about what we've been doing and stuff. Anyway, so it gets to like the Thursday, we've been away since Monday, right, and said, right, we're going out tonight. So our mum says, yeah, we'll come with you. I said, no, it's just us, we're having a bit of time on our own, right.
Is it true you said to her, you told me this, you said to her, you started to annoy me, I want some time on my own?
Well, I just said, well, I told her at the start, I said, it's going to be interesting this, because people annoy me when they're around me a lot.
Sure.
So I wasn't nasty to her, I just was saying people, not her.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, you're gonna get on my nerves. So,
you hailed a donkey for her.
So, no, but, seriously, right, with the flying, do you know those stockings that you can get because of, deep vein thrombosis?
Sure.
She had them on in the cab.
Brilliant.
And it's only a 2-hour flight as well, so that was annoying me. Right, so anyway, it gets to this, you know, the Thursday night when I'm going out with Suzanne.
Yeah.
And, our mum's like sat on the sun lounger outside, so where are we going tonight? I said, no, like I said, it's just us, we're going out having a bit of time to ourselves. So, I could see as the day was getting on, she was realising that she's got a night in with, like, her husband, right? Her face started to, like, look miserable.
Sure.
I thought, I'm loving this. Right. So I said, right, I'm going in to go and have a shower, go and, get ready for the tonight, it's gonna be great.
And winding them up, just wind them up because they can't come, because he said they can't.
Right, so I go upstairs, have a shower and that. I come down, and, a mum's smiling.
Oh, hang on.
So I'm thinking, hang on a minute, what's gone on here? So I went to Suzanne, I said, why's your mum smiling? She's not coming. She said, no, but my dad said he'll take her out now. So in a way, she was happy because she got her own way, which had annoyed me.
That annoyed you, sure, because you wanted to...
like,
What, you don't even want her husband taking her out?
Well, it's just the fact she didn't want to go out. She was happy to stay in and have sausage, egg and chips that they'd found from some shop that sold English food.
Right.
So that's almost like what they do if they're at home.
Sausage, egg and chips.
So she was happy with that if we were staying in and having that, but because we were going out, she was fed up. Right? So she's smiling, so she's going, yeah, I'm going out now. So I said, well, enjoy yourself. She said, where are you going? I said, well, it doesn't matter, does it? You don't need to know.
Sure,
You're not going to where we're going. Oh, you just don't want us to be in the same restaurant. I said, yeah, that's right. I said, I want a night out on my own with Suzanne. It's our holiday as well.
I don't know, I can talk to you about this.
This is not even his own parents. This is someone else's parents. These are the parents of the woman he loves.
But even Suzanne sort of agreed with me. There's only so much time you can spend with your parents. That's why you leave. That's why when you're ill, you don't go home to them. Yeah? Sure.
Yeah. Of course, the slight difference between me and you, Carl, is that not everyone in the world annoys me.
Well, not everyone does, just...
I can see what, I felt a bit guilty that week when he said I was annoying him, but I realise it's not my fault now.
No, everyone annoys him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was an alright holiday. It was good to get back.
Brilliant.
Won't be doing it again.
No. And what now would you say is your relationship with Suzanne's parents? Is it a frosty one?
No, I just think they know that I don't like to put up with them for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were packing, her mum was upset because, like, she really liked the place where we were staying, right? Because it was quite a big villa, because there was a few of us. There was a brother as well with us, right?
Yeah.
So, her mum said, oh, I love it here. She said, I'm definitely going to book this place again. I said, it's a bit, you know, a bit big for two of you, isn't it?
Just being sarky, like, we're definitely...
I said, because, you know, I won't be coming again.
You're like, I don't know what you're like, Carl. You're a monster. You're an absolute monster.
You're one of those people that goes, I say as speakers are fine, I say as and gibbered what the wibble.
Yeah.
And never the where will slap.
You're like a middle-aged man. You're like an old man. You're like an old man and you're what, 30?
And just imagine you scraping along in clogs and a flat cap going, oh, that tree's got to come down.
Yeah. Puncturing a kid's ball if he kicks it into your garden by mistake.
Yeah.
Refusing to give it back.
Yeah, gather round. Yeah, there were once Chinese kid as hairy as that cow, which is weird, because there's not many Chinese people that are hairy, but this one, I tell you. Carl, you went to Lanzarote. People said don't go to Lanzarote. They told you it was Lands-a-grotty. They told you, were they right or wrong?
They were right, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a bit ropey, yeah.
Is it? Why?
Just, out there. If it wasn't for the volcano they had, they'd be knackered.
That's their big draw, is it?
That's it, basically. That's all they've got going for them.
When you landed, was it really hot? Initially, were you quite excited? You were thinking this is okay?
It was warm. It's, you know, we can't complain about the weather. The weather was alright.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's what I went for, but it'd be nice if there just was something else.
Yeah.
What did you do all day then? Did you read your ritual book?
No, I didn't read that. I read that book. Do you know the book that I bought and all the chapters were messed up?
Oh, yeah.
I bought a better version of that.
Alright.
And I read that.
Excellent.
And then,
Did it make more sense in order?
Yeah, a lot easier to follow.
Yeah.
And then we went and had a look at the volcanoes and that. They've got 36 of them to look at.
How many did you look at before you realised that you know, pretty much, you've seen one volcano, you've seen them all?
Probably about 6 or 7.
Really? And then when you got to the 8th, you thought, now I know what this is going to be, Suzanne. This is going to be like a mountain with a hole in the top.
Yeah.
Really?
But it happened years ago as well. It's like, just keep a couple, fill the rest in, tidy it up.
Fill the rest in!
Yeah, no,
Well, getting some builders.
No, seriously though.
Okay, 4 million tons of concrete, please.
They're an absolute death trap.
Yeah, what? Yeah. What do you mean, fill them in? Do you know what a volcano is?
Just a hole, isn't it? That's happened.
Well, it's more than the
happened back
hole. It's more a portal to the magma in the centre of the Earth.
Back in 1730 it happened, and they still haven't sorted it out.
Well, when you say it happened, volcanoes were made a lot longer ago than 1730.
No, but the one that did Lanzarote in.
Right.
Sort it out.
What would you suggest? How can they fill it in? It's joined. It's all joined.
No, but what I'm saying is,
the big plates of the Earth are all joined. All the magma's joined.
with the trade centre thing, that happened. They cleaned it up, sorted it out, they've moved on. That's what I'm saying. Whereas Lanzarote have just gone, leave it. It happened back in 1730.
You misunderstand me. How, in the name of God, can you fill in a volcano? You ignorant twit.
No, but it's not just the holes. They've actually left the lava everywhere. That's what I mean. It's not just the big holes. There's lava everywhere.
But it's molten rock. They can't just pick it up like they're like a carpet.
Put it in the holes. The holes are there ready. Just push it all in. That's what I'm saying.
So, what exactly is there then? Is it just a kind of moon-like kind of surround with just kind of dust and rocks?
That's exactly what you see. I was there when the Mars thing went wrong.
Yeah.
I would have just sent a camera crew there, filmed a bit of that, right, and say, here we are. This is it. Ignore the little coffee shop in the background. Right? This is Mars, because that's where it's like just loads of dust.
Yeah.
Holes everywhere. Tidy it up.
Little round-headed aliens complaining.
Whinging.
Just like Mars.
Yeah.
So, is there what's the best bit about the holiday? Come on, pretend you're Judith Chalmers.
I have been doing. I would have done all that. I would have said that. Don't bother.
Right.
I mean, the hotel was good.
Yeah?
That was alright.
What was that like?
It's alright. Just, clean. That's all you want, isn't it?
See, that's not quite what Judith Chalmers does. She doesn't go, what's the hotel like? Alright, yeah, clean, isn't it? Alright. But what was it like? Was it, what was it? 3-star? 4-star? Did it have a swimming pool? What was the room like?
I had a swimming pool and that.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good. I think it was one of the better ones on the island.
Okay.
Nightlife?
Wasn't really any. There was a bar, there was some bands playing.
Yeah.
Not very good. Food got a bit boring.
Yeah.
It was always the same food every night, but they sort of themed it and made out as if it was different. So, like, on Mexican night, it'd be chicken with a nacho on it.
Right.
And Chinese night, sort of chicken with a little prawn cracker on it and stuff.
Sure.
But that got a bit boring.
That's me just turning on my phone, because I want to read to you a text that I got from Carl. I think you sort of sum up the holiday in this text, don't you? Do you remember
I
it?
can't remember.
Let's have a look. Let's have a little look.
Instantly, what did Suzanne, your girlfriend, make of it? Similar view to you, that they should fill in the holes?
Yeah, it's just that thing, you see, I went on a coach trip, right? And you go and see the volcanoes. Like I say, there's 36 of them.
Yeah.
Which, how many do you need? And when we're on the coach going round all these volcanoes, the fella on the front's going and look out your left window at the moment, and there's a volcano. And if you quickly look out at the right-hand side there, there's another one.
Right.
And on the left, it's just like, all right, we've seen it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that trip, I mean, we'll talk about that trip in a bit.
Right, this is the text I got from Carl, right? Alright. Been up to a volcano. Been in some dead artist's house who built his house in the lava. They said they would show me science with volcanoes, but all they did was chuck some water in a hole and it shot up in the air. No dwarves in the canteen, no scousers here, but there is a Swede woman with a big head. She looks effing gormless with a cap on. Alright? So a little reference there to...
A Swede woman?
What's that mean? Do you mean Swedish?
Yeah.
Or she looked like a vegetable?
No, a Swedish woman. But they've all got sort of quite big built, aren't they?
And I sent him a text. Oh well, it's just good to be on holiday because I'm working. He sent back. So am I. Just been watching Sky News. There is a school for monkeys who want to get a band together.
Is that monkey news for later?
Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, and little Karl Pilkington. But it was a nice holiday.
Yeah, it's all right. It's just, I went there to relax and that.
Exactly.
Did a little bit of that. Trying to think of some new, features and stuff.
Sure, always working. 3 holidays a year, Jesus.
Oh, well, not really 3, not 2.
It's all
holidays, really.
one big sort of like work thing to me and Steve.
2 holidays, isn't it?
Yeah.
Work hard, you need the holidays. So, yeah, the things that annoyed me was like, you get bored sat around the pool after a couple of days. I'd read my book.
Yeah.
There wasn't much going on the...
Not even any crabs to throw sand at, was
no
there?
crabs or anything. They wouldn't bother with Lanzarote, right? So, decided to go on a little trip. That's when I saw the volcanoes and that, 36 of them. So, we go on the trip, and the thing that annoys me, it does happen every holiday that you go on. If you go on a sort of a package thing, they have these trips, right? And you pay about 40 odd quid, and they give you some wine to sort of make it feel like you're getting your money's worth. But,
how many of these trips have you been on then? Loads.
Probably about 12.
More holidays than I've had. Go on.
Yeah, so anyway, so you're on the coach, right? And they take you for the volcanoes. They took us in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing else round there.
Sure.
It's like I say, it's like Mars, but with holes in the ground.
Yeah.
Right. And they sort of drop you off, and they go, right, everybody, see you back here in an hour. There's loads of volcanoes for you to look at, and a coffee shop over there. And you know for a fact, right, you don't need an hour there. You could just say, well, just keep the engine running, because I'll have a look in this hole, we'll get back on, give us 5 minutes. Right? Don't need an hour.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know that they've got something going.
It's a backhander, definitely.
What, with the coffee shop?
Definitely, yeah. They go there. And they get everyone to have an ice cream and a coffee, and they sit down and have a fag talking to the bloke. Yeah, and it's like, cousin. Yeah.
How much was the coffee? Was it
probably about €3 each euros, so I think it was $3.50.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, that's about £2.5.
Yeah, they stitched you up. Well, I remember we were on a family trip to France once. We went to Paris. We got a coach coming back from Paris to one of the ferries, one of the ports, Calais or wherever it was. Coach trip. That's quite a long coach trip. And at one point we were thinking, we're on the motorway, this is fine, we're making good progress. Suddenly we came off the motorway. We must have gone like 40 minutes out of our way, end up in this street, completely empty, little French town. And it's pulled up outside this, what appears to be a restaurant, and a guy jumps on, dressed like a Butlins redcoat. He's French, but he's putting on a kind of English accent. He goes, hello, oh, thank you very much, top of the morning, good morning, hello. Come in, we've got food, drink, go upstairs, we've got rooms if you want to have a rest, or play around. No, it's up to you. And we all had to funnel off this thing into this restaurant, and this one family went, well, we don't want to go in the restaurant. We brought sandwiches, we just want to get to the port, we're not interested. And they said, well, you've got to come in the restaurant. They went, we don't want to come in the restaurant. So the guy said, well, I'll have to lock you in the coach. So this family were locked in the coach while we all traipsed off in, and I could just look, but I looked back and just saw this little kid with his face pressed up against the glass. Take me with you. I want to go in the restaurant. They were just stuck in there. Absolutely livid, as you would be.
But that's definitely a backhander.
But we went inside, and it was extraordinary, because initially you had to pass through a souvenir shop to get into the restaurant.
Perfect.
And it was catered entirely to English tourists. So there was like pictures of the Queen and Prince Charles on the wall. It was done out in a kind of mock Tudor style. It's absolutely extraordinary. I mean, it was so bizarre, because it was so out of the way. Did that come before the coach sort of scam, or did the coach guy, he knows it, is it a brother of his? I don't know how those things come about. But
yeah, is
that going on in this country?
Yeah,
with French
I'm sure
and German
it is.
tourists.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Is it?
Yeah, they say, I'm sure people say, look, if you bring 30 people to this restaurant, I'll see you all right. But it wouldn't it? If you got your favourites, because you don't have to. The coach driver's pretty much God on those things, because those people don't know where they're going anyway.
Yeah, but at least here, there's other stuff around. You don't really get that in the middle of nowhere situation in this country.
Well, not really. Not if you're going from London to Manchester. You could stop off anywhere. They don't know where they are. There's places with nothing to do or see. It's that those attractions. There's loads of them in America, but there's a few here, like Sheep World. And, you go out to Gloucester, and there's a town, it's got the biggest cotton reel in the world. And that's it. It's a tourist shop, a big cotton reel, and some bloke at the gate going, it's £1 to see it. There it is, right?
I went to I know it's quite I went to a Shire Horse Centre once.
Yeah.
But when did Shire horses become so popular that they got their own theme parks?
Well, I think there's a museum for everything.
Yeah, possibly so.
I mean, I don't think you could think of something that didn't have a museum somewhere in Britain, because obviously museums start off sometimes by fans.
But did people keep coming around going, I hear you got a Shire horse, I'd love to see it?
Yeah.
Well, I can't. People coming all the time to see my Shire horse.
You should get another one, because I'd pay double for those
I pay
two.
good money to see your Shire horse.
Yeah.
Shire horses.
I know.
Have you seen them? They don't do anything. They're not like monkeys.
No, they're
They're just
not like
grand,
monkeys,
elegant
no.
creatures. But you look at them in a picture or look at them in real life, pretty much the same thing. They're not doing anything.
If they could train a Shire horse to swing on a rope and masturbate,
Exactly.
I'd pay double.
You pay good money.
I'd pay double for that.
Yeah.
There's a museum in Italy when we went there a couple of years back. Suzanne had like one of those little guide things. Museum there just for spaghetti.
Yeah.
I mean, open a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it interesting spaghetti? Spaghetti in different shapes?
Don't know, didn't go. I went to see a big hole in the ground.
Sure.
Can't get enough of them. So, do that then.
Well, but out of 10 then, what would you give it out of 10? All in all, food, location,
Right.
relaxation, enjoyment.
Yeah, that's 6.
Okay, brilliant.
6, yeah.
Next week, where are you going next week? You're not on holiday next week?
Going
Cool.
away with Suzanne's mum and dad again.
5 holidays.
Been roped into that.
Well, another big moment here. We've had Rockbusters. Now we're going to have Carl's film quiz thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a film quiz thing. I've done Planet of the Apes, right? Because one of the things we did in Lanzarote went on this tour with sort of 3 northern blokes, and they didn't really know what they were talking about.
Joking.
What
You're
do you
joking. What? Northerners not know what they're talking about. You're having a
No,
laugh.
they'd obviously sort of not had much luck here, right? And thought, let's go over to Lanzarote, buy some vans, right? Get people in it. We'll do a tour of the island. And whenever someone asked the question like, what year did the volcano happen? They go, oh, we'll take you to the visitor centres. You can read about it there. So they never actually answered anything, right? So they were useless. But one of the things that they told us was that Planet of the Apes was filmed in Lanzarote,
Right, okay.
right?
That makes sense.
A bit of it. Well, does it?
Well,
Does it make
it-
sense?
Well, what do you
Alright,
mean,
well maybe
does
it was, maybe it wasn't. Okay, anyway.
No, I mean, if they wanted to show sort of an Aaron, sort of barren, sort of post-apocalyptic sort of subject, choose where you went on holiday.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, but when we were there, he took us to this sort of beach, and I said, "Is this where they did it?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "What? Right there, yeah." And I watched it, and I couldn't see where I was.
Yeah, you know that if you watch a film from 1968 and you've been to the same
no,
place,
the
you're
new
not
one.
going to feature.
The
They're
new
not
one.
going to see you in the back walking along the beach.
It's a new one, new Planet of the Apes.
Oh, the
right?
recent Planet of the Apes,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what they said. Yeah,
Right.
right. So I thought I'd sort of.
Now
do
that sounds a little bit more far-fetched. I'd have thought that was probably a lot in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Did you have a good holiday, Carl?
Yeah, it was all right. It's all right. Went down to Cornwall.
Now
Tell
you're
you what,
going to the monkey
some odd
sanctuary.
people down there, Steve.
Well, don't look at me. I'm not from Cornwall.
Well, you're from that sort of area.
Well, not really, but never
Genetically, he means.
mind. Right.
They're weird.
Well, you must have slotted right in.
What are they weird? What do they look like?
It's all sort of odd people. A lot of old people, but not just old, sort of messed up old.
What do you mean messed up old? You can't just say that. There's
There was a woman with a funny neck.
Okay, in what way was it funny?
What did she have a funny neck? If you were writing an essay, you wouldn't say there was this one with a funny neck. How would you describe it?
She sort of had her head like pointed down all the time. Like that.
Don't do it. It's his radio.
No, but just for you, I do like that.
Yeah.
Walking about like
Yeah, okay, right. So brilliant.
that. I don't know. I was saying to Suzanne, what happened? You know, what do you think?
Because Suzanne knows everything. That's the good thing about her being with you. You just ask her what happened to her, and Suzanne goes, "Carl, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been here before." Does she-
Suzanne, your girlfriend, or mummy as you call her.
Oh, sparks are flying.
Yeah. I got a little bit of chocolate. Can you just lick a tissue and wipe it off?
Oh,
She said it might have been like because back in the olden days they carried stuff on the.
the olden days.
What do you mean the olden days?
This woman was probably what, 50?
No, she looked about 70.
Yeah.
But like I do on Cheeky Freak of the Week, right? I always turn it round and we get like something good out
Something
of it.
positive, yeah.
I said to Suzanne, I bet she finds a lot of money.
Yeah.
Always staring at the ground, yeah.
Oh dear.
There's always
Oh,
good.
so you're
Maybe
back.
she just had new shoes and she was admiring them.
Yeah.
Did you think of that? Before you point the finger and judge?
Or a necklace was too heavy.
Exactly.
So you're back refreshed. So what have we got for this week? Have we sort of, because we didn't meet last night, which we usually meet
No,
sort of
I called you and said it'd be good if we could. I wasn't getting back into London.
Well, I was up
until
for it, I was up
till
for it,
7:30,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
but we all need to be there. It's no
Yeah.
good just me and you being there.
Yeah, so, yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right that I wasn't there, because I wasn't willing to just be governed by your particular schedule. You want to jet back in from another of your holidays
It wasn't a
at
holiday.
8 o'clock.
Wasn't a holiday though.
Well, so what? You
What
were
do you
out
mean?
of town.
What do you mean it wasn't a holiday? What was it?
It was a treat, wasn't it, for my mum and dad? So it wasn't a holiday. I
What,
thought
so
I'm
you
away.
didn't enjoy the 5 days off? You'd rather have been here moaning 8 hours a day? 7 hours a day.
You see, we said last week that you're always whinging. Here you are whinging now.
I'm not
And you're
moaning.
saying it's not even a holiday. You're saying it's not even a holiday. What was it then?
Would like a nurse who take sick children to Florida, would they say having a great holiday?
Sorry, what particular ailment did your parents have for the week that they had to fly in Karl Pilkington, MD?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, alright, it was a holiday.
Well then, good. Now some honesty, now some truth.
So you came back from your holiday, you wanted to start back to work straight away, Steve couldn't be bothered to meet. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
So we've got nothing prepared for this.
Well, you can rely on Rockbusters. Right, that's
We've
coming
got
up.
nothing.
Monkey News.
Even though you were away, you were still working.
Still doing stuff.
Did you go to the monkey sanctuary?
I'll tell you about that.
I've just had an email here. Monkey News
Yeah.
from a listener. Monkey spotted holidaying in Cornwall. A chimp was spotted holidaying in Cornwall last week after befriending a family of 3. One onlooker said, "It was incredible. He dressed and behaved exactly like a human being. He even settled the hotel bill at the end of their stay. The only telltale sign was his lack of table manners and the incoherent babble when he opened his mouth." There we are. So,
Well, what do you think of that, Carl?
that's the listeners, Carl. That's Joanne.
Amusing, articulate, accurate. She remembered exactly who's there and everything, setting in the bill. It's all there. So, I mean, even though people think that you're slightly simian, slightly less than human on the evolutionary ladder, they do listen to you. So, I mean, I don't know who's more stupid in the end, you or the listeners.
Well, you may recall, Rick, at the end of last week when Carl had to shoot off early, we issued a little request for listeners just to bombard Carl's email with just pointless emails that really weren't about anything, just to clog up his email for when he returned.
Yeah.
Rick, they sent them all to us.
Brilliant.
I mean, that's the kind of listeners that we've got. We've got reams here on our email of just junk.
I mean, it's like a Marx Brothers plot, isn't it? I mean,
ludicrous.
just listen.
Listen to what we say.
I got one about a shaved cat. Well, that's not pointless. I'll be reading that later.
Oh, you're loving it, yeah.
I'm happy.
That'll keep you going for a couple of weeks.
I'll be reading that later.
Did you get to the monkey sanctuary? Because this was the big thing. You were going down to Cornwall, you were going to visit the monkey sanctuary. I've never seen someone more excited. You had 2 days put aside for the monkey sanctuary.
I know.
How did it go, Monkey World?
We were on our way, right? I found like a little, in the little cottage that we had, right? It's like a little folder, with little leaflets in saying if you're into mountains, you want to go here.
Yeah.
If you're into castles and that.
Go to
Little
Castle
monkey
World.
on the leaflet, right? So I thought I'll be needing that. Took that out, made sure that's safe and
Yeah.
that, right? We get in the car, getting ready to go. My dad says, "Where is it?" I look on the back. It's in a place called Low or something like that, right? Yeah. So we're on our way. Can't believe me luck. It's going to be a great day and all that.
Yeah.
And then start looking at the leaflet, right? And noticed didn't have any chimps there.
Yeah, it's not Monkey World.
It wasn't a monkey world.
Well, what
No.
was it called then?
Something like,
Monkey Town.
yeah, it was just it had like woolly monkeys in it. That's what.
It
it
had
was.
what?
Woolly monkeys.
What are woolly monkeys?
Those things, Johnny Vegas off the advert. Loads
Right.
of them. They're dumped now since ITV Digital
Yeah.
went under, so they just put them in a cage.
I don't
No,
understand.
They're woolly. They're like they're sort of like little fluffy little baboon type things. Woolly monkeys. I mean, it's not your chimp. It is
Right.
not. It's not your classic chimpanzee.
So did the car screech to a halt?
It was like
Yeah.
it was like the mission in Armageddon. As you said, abort. We're on the way back.
So how far had you got before you bothered to read the leaflet?
Probably about 5 miles away
Right.
from where we were.
So what did you do with yourself? You must have been distraught.
we
Well,
went
they
to,
broke down and then they heard banjo music.
Yeah.
No, we went to a sort of an amusement place.
Arcade.
I'd love to see you in that. What with putting those coins in, so it has to roll down and they go flat, and then an arm pushes
It
them.
was one of them.
Really?
But
I
I'd worked
spent
out it was
years
a
on that when I
con.
was little.
Well, there's a new one. I can't be bothered explaining it, but it's a con. We went to this place, right? My mum and dad had been there before, and
Yeah.
they said, "You'll love it. It's brilliant. It's got like a war bit in it."
A war bit, right?
Yeah, like because they know I'm into tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
So you'll be loving that.
So sorry, I didn't know you were into tanks.
No.
Well, they're all right.
Brilliant. It's gone from one of his childhood passions to, well, they're all right.
I know, yeah. Go on.
And but it was awful. I mean, my mum and dad had been there before, and he said, "No, you'll love it." But it was like a really miserable day.
Sure.
Right? All the rides and that were broke.
Yeah.
Broke.
It just reminds you of Manchester.
my dad just ended up, he was more interested, there was a really fat family there.
Well, presumably he was breaking into the machines, trying to scoop off the cash.
I like the fact that those poor fat family were going, why are those people looking at us?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to ride one?
No, but
we're not a ride.
They were massive, and he just was like, look at the state of that. A whole family.
Yeah.
Just, fat.
Bloaters, yeah.
All right.
No,
down.
but he because fat, there's no need for it, is there? And he was really like, oh god. And then he wanted to follow them into the House of Mirrors to see what they look like. But my mum had got bored. She went off to buy a little Snow White figure. She couldn't believe her luck. It was only $2.99.
Yeah.
She thought it was going to be really expensive.
Sure,
so she
she's a
bought one
classy
of them.
lady.
Yeah.
So she enjoyed that. And then my dad says, come on, we go in. It's rubbish, this.
What, the fat family wouldn't let him play with them?
So he just said on the way home, he said, I can safely say that I never want to go there again before I die. So that was that. And then we went home.
Why would he ever give you that information? In case it was like a secret birthday present. You go, oh God, what if they get me a trip to here? Or if he's in a coma and you go, I'll tell you what bring him out of it.
That fat couple.
yeah.
By his bedside.
Yeah.
But Suzanne said she now realises why I am the way I am after spending like a week with them.
Well,
She said-
they told her that they dropped you on your head as a kid, or
No, just like, the way they act and that.
right, yeah.
I
They
think-
were saying things like, Suzanne, so, why is the moon out at night and the sun in the day? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
God,
was-
there's 3 of them.
Suzanne, can you tie my shoelaces again?
It was the bit when my dad said, don't waste money on a coffin for him, just put him in a bin bag.
Carl, you haven't told us about your holiday yet. You were meant to do it last week and you didn't. You started doing this, but we didn't have time because we had to do monkey news about a monkey who was a director who cared about lighting and stuff.
Is there more monkey news this week?
Is it as? Okay. Is it real monkey news? Did it happen, or is it mostly embellishment in your round little head?
It's proper stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So holiday. Where did you go on holiday?
Sardinia.
Good.
Yeah, it's alright, yeah. Nice food and that, it's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
And nice beaches and what have you.
Excellent.
Always like a nice long beach to walk down.
Yeah.
But, so we're having a nice walk, right? You know, nudists do me head in.
Sure.
Right.
Not a problem though, is it? It's not like being scared of spiders where they might jump out under the kitchen sink at you. You know what I mean? It's not a big problem having your head done in by nudists.
Yeah, but it just annoys me. It sort of ruins the day a little bit. Because it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Right. Take your clothes off if you feel uncomfortable. It's much more relaxing.
Yeah, but... Well, anyway, right, so I'm walking along the beach, right? Lovely long beach, what have you, watching the sea, picking up shells and that.
And what are you wearing? What's your natural beach club?
When he says picking up shells, I imagine he's on all fours going, like that, you know what I mean, looking at things. Just like washing his nuts in the sea to get them tasty.
Yeah, going into the sea and then kind of shaking himself and all the water flies off.
I've just got, flip-flops on, pair of shorts,
Some a bit
and
noisy
like a little light shirt.
Sure.
So anyway, walking along, and Suzanne goes, oh look, right, and there's this woman, German I think, coming out of the...
How can you tell she was German? Underarm hair?
I'll get to it. Forget the underarm hair. She came out, it looked like she was smuggling seaweed.
I'm gonna burst! I'm going to burst! Oh God!
And the funny thing is, right, she,
smuggling seaweed! Oh God! She was a bit hairy down there, was she?
mental. I felt bad because I hadn't had a shave for 2 days, right? Looked at her, it was ridiculous. She might as well have kept her trunks on. It was just like she was wearing furry trunks, right? So anyway, so I'm walking around. So,
yeah, go on then.
so Suzanne's like, oh look, and I'm like, oh, not again, because every time we go away, there always seems to be one of these.
Is she by herself, this woman?
Well, the weird thing was, she was with her husband, right, but he had shorts on, he was happy, right, but every time, because I walked past her, and he sort of ran off, because he's embarrassed. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing normal about it. What can he do? He can't go, alright mate, because he knows it's odd, right?
How old was he? Sorry, how old was she?
It's hard to tell when someone hasn't got clothes on. Do you know what I mean? They always look older, don't they? When when they haven't got clothes on anyway. But I'd say she was about 40, 41.
Okay, right.
So yeah, so I walked past, and the annoying thing is, she got there on a bike, right? No clothes on, little pair of boots next to the bike. So if you can wear boots, just pop some shorts on. Do you know what I mean? That takes more effort for me, putting boots on. So put the shorts on, right? So anyway, so the husband kept running off. I walked past, and I'm getting annoyed because I'm saying, well, we've got to walk past them again on the way back.
I like the fact they're scuttling away when Carl walks past. Like when you lift up a bit of sort of iron sheeting in the woods and loads of mice run away.
Yeah.
It's like whenever Carl goes, that nudists run away.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So, but no, so we sort of come walking back and what have you, and you know, I have another look and what have you, and he runs off again.
Why are you another look if it offends you so much?
Oh, you might as well just have a look. You know what I mean? It's just putting it on show and what have you. But the interesting thing was, I just wondered whether the husband...
If the husband were nude, you'd looked at his tackle, because remember when you went to see those two strippers and it was a woman and man and they whipped their shorts off, you said you looked at his tackle first.
I think any bloke would.
Wow.
You would. You just check it out, it's natural, isn't it? You just go, oh, right. So it is normal or whatever. Because you don't know if you know what I mean? You don't know if what you've got's right until you see someone else's. No, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, so, but he got us talking, because I was, then, as soon as I saw her, sort of, today's been ruined a bit, so I'm walking up the beach.
It's been ruined!
Walking up the beach with Suzanne going, how does it happen? Do you know what I mean? Why do people do this? What fun are they getting out of it and what have you? And, I just was thinking, is there any chance that that fella, right, didn't even know that she was a nudist until they went away? Do you know what I mean? Because I said to Suzanne, say if I met Suzanne, it's like we're getting on, yeah, everything's fine.
Yeah.
And then you go off on holiday and you go, you haven't got much luggage. And she's like, no, it's fine, this is plenty, and I'm thinking that's weird. And then we go down the beach and she whips her knickers off. I'd be annoyed, but there's nothing I could do. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I'm just wondering whether that's what happened to this fella. Every time someone came walking up, he was like, oh, God, this is embarrassing. And he kept nipping off.
Yeah.
Finding something else to do.
Look at some shells.
So I'm wondering, Rick, if at some point, maybe today or in future shows, we should get a nudist, you know, one of those official nudist spokespeople, you know, because all these nudist organisations, get them on the phone, justify themselves to Karl, because, you know, in his mind, they are, what would you say, weirdos, freaks?
I don't quite get it. I was reading something in one of the supplements last weekend, and some journalist went round to some, whatever you call it, some resort or whatever for nudes and that. And it's
Were
just...
they playing volleyball?
Well, the annoying thing was, bowls.
Why is that annoying?
Well, don't play a sport where you've got to bend over.
How you doing, Karl?
I'm alright, yeah.
Another holiday?
Well, it wasn't holiday. It wasn't holiday.
Well, it was. You had 5 days off work. Why isn't it holiday? You had 5 days not working for a living. You know how many days holiday gets a year now? 29.
Oh, that's more than teachers, isn't it?
It makes me sick. It makes me sick.
Well, I know the kind of hours you work, Rick. It's mad. I mean, if you're not in work by midday, you're furious.
No, but I mean, I'm always...
29's normal. For the normal working person.
Yeah, but, you know...
And anyway, it wasn't a proper holiday. I went to see my mum and dad. It's nice to see them and everything, but it's not holiday, is it?
Why?
It's not going away. It's not getting on a plane, is it? Going away.
Oh, is that definitely a holiday? What happened before 1950?
I don't know.
People used to go... Yeah, exactly. People used to go to Blackpool or Brighton. That was holiday.
Yeah, but I didn't
Where did you go?
Went to Wales.
There you go. Lovely holiday. Lovely holiday. Have a holiday in Wales. That's what they say, innit? Come to Wales and have a holiday. That's what they say, innit? So come to Wales and meet your parents. Come to Wales and have a lovely holiday.
Right. Well, anyway, it was good and that. It's always good to see him.
Yeah.
But
week off work.
Do you know, like my mum likes gnomes and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course she does. She's lived with one for 30 years.
She said, you know, get your dad to take us to this park where they've got like, you know, 6-foot gnomes and stuff, right? Have a walk about.
Sounds like a nightmare. Yeah. Sounds like a living nightmare.
Keep an eye on Karl.
So anyway,
he stood still for 2 minutes. Someone bought him.
No. You can't buy them and that. It's like a little exhibition thing, right? And it's part of a hall, right? This big hall that you have to pay to get in. But we didn't want to see the hall. I just wanted to see the gnomes.
Of course you did, yeah.
So anyway, my dad says, yeah, well, we can get in there for free.
Of course he did.
Clever.
Right? So we parked up on this little country lane, right? No one about. We walked
How much
down,
did it go in? Like £2?
about £3 each.
Yeah.
But he said, well, yeah, but if you don't have to pay, do you know what I mean? You enjoy it even more, don't you, when you're walking about and you think, I've got this £3 in my pocket, no one's having it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, looking over shoulder for a bloke with a peak hat saying, can I see your ticket, please? I wouldn't enjoy it more, no. Go on.
Yeah, but you don't worry about it, do
You got a bit of money now then, Rick. You know, you're changed.
So anyway, so we had to walk across about 4 fields.
For £3!
Right, and what happened was, we're walking through all these fields and what have you, big grass and muddy bits and all that, 'cause it'd been raining, and climbing over fences and stuff. And we're in this field, right, and I look to my right, and there's about 30 cows all staring at us, right? And Suzanne started to panic a bit. She said, we shouldn't be here. And Dad says, of course we can, we're allowed to go wherever we want, you know, all this land, it's, you know, it's ramblers' rights and all that stuff.
Yeah. And so you can take a cow if you want, unattended.
So
Serves him right for leaving him in the field unattended. I'm having one.
Yeah.
so
Keep us fed for a week.
across. Anyway, these cows start surrounding us.
Surrounding us.
And,
oh, brilliant.
Oh, no.
Face off.
and Suzanne's panicking, going, this isn't right. We're not going to make it to the fence in time. They're moving faster than us, and they started sort of running a bit.
Wow.
And
It's like
Dad
some
was
kind of bovine West Side Story.
don't
A gang of cows coming at you.
don't worry about it and stuff. But my dad had to sort of stand there and like wave a stick at him.
Of course.
And we got away, but Suzanne was like having a bit of a sweat
You
on,
got away.
saying, you know, we could have got killed.
Sure.
And my dad saying, nah, it never happens. And I just wondered if it does, if there's a risk of...
Yeah, it is rare, but there's been a couple of cases of being trampled by cows. They're not aggressive, they sort of run through you. Well, they're aggressive if they've got a calf.
They don't have kids.
What?
They had kids with them.
Kids, yeah. That's goats you're thinking of. Yeah.
Maybe they were trying to sneak into the gnome thing, and they were worried that, like, if too many people did it, like, they thought some cows, we can just sneak in
They
where
were
cows,
trying,
no one's expecting cows,
And the cows
but
were
some
going,
humans.
walk upright like a human. Don't walk upright.
They thought you'd blow their cover.
Yeah. Yeah, people have been killed by cows before.
Yeah, that was like the highlight, and then...
So when you arrived there, you were presumably covered in mud, looking like something that had just come from Glastonbury, staggering around this exhibition.
It wasn't that bad, it was just like a woods, and it had like a funny sort of funeral, like a graveyard thing.
Right.
With bodies sort of hanging out the ground and that, and we had
What?
these 6-foot gnomes.
Right.
And then we just set off again, walked back. But we didn't
Sure
have to
this
go
wasn't
to
a
the field.
dream?
No, it was good. But then I got back, right, Steve, and called up Ricky. I said, right, you know, are you about? Have a chat and that. So he said, oh, just come round, it's a nice day. Have a drink and what have you. So I got round there at about 6:30, right? Go up to his door, knock on his door, right? He stood there with his tackle out.
Oh. Yeah, and what did you make of that? What was wrong with that?
What do you mean, what's wrong with that?
Why were you looking at it? Why
was
were you
odd.
looking at it?
I tried not to look at it. But again, you're always sort of attracted to it, aren't you? Kind of like...
I've never been attracted to another man's tackle. I don't know what you mean.
You can't help but have a little sly look. Especially when it's there. When you ring the bell, and I mean the one on the door, right? And that's hanging out.
And does he dress to the left or the right?
It was to the left, right?
Yeah, it was left, yeah. Just popped out of my shorts for him. Just popped him out of the shorts.
Should have seen the state of him. Shorts on, no top, cigar. Looked like someone out of The Sopranos. It was a mess.
Yeah.
And then,
Then we sat on the balcony drinking wine, didn't we?
Did you pop it back in, or was it still...
Yeah, I popped it straight back in. I've got the laugh.
Sure.
I've got the laugh I
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah.
He walked in, he went, it's not that hot. Straight away, it's not that hot. Oh, brilliant.
And then,
Was that knob news, or is there more?
no, it's got more knob news.
That's just a
coming.
taster.